In this video, we're going to talk about how to use the Atlantis style workflow in Scalr. In GitOps, there are two main workflows. There's a merge before apply, or there's the apply before merge strategy, also known as the Atlantis style. Scalr can accommodate both workflows depending on your organizational needs. Today, we're going to focus solely on the Atlantis style workflow. We have other videos that cover the merge before apply GitOps workflow. So to start, we're first going to come into integrations, and I already have a GitHub integration set up, but if you don't, you'll want to get that integrated, that or any other VCS provider you use. And once you've connected the integration, you're going to have a number of different options in here. We're going to execute commands from a pull request comment to do the plan and as well as to do the apply. So we're going to want to make sure that we have the bottom two options checked off: allow triggering plan only runs from PR comments and allow triggering plan and apply runs from PR comments. Once those are saved, you'll then want to go into one of your workspaces. In this case, I have a workspace named PR Driven that we will use. And the one thing I want to change in this workspace is that I want to turn off enabling VCS driven dry runs. Basically what this is that if I was to open up a pull request on a repository, automatically going to start executing a plan for me. So in some cases you might want this, but in this case, I want all of my runs to execute based on a comment being made. So either the plan comment or the apply comment. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And now we will go into the repository that I have linked up. And we'll just start off fresh here. So we're going to go to our dev branch, and let's just make a quick update to this. So we have very simple Terraform code where we're just creating null resources. So we'll just add example 3, commit that change, and now open up a pull request. All right, so now that pull request is open, you notice because we turned off that enable VCS driven dry runs, nothing's really going to happen in Scalr at this point. So if I come into my runs, you'll see these are all old, nothing currently operating. So first off, to kick off a run, all you're going to do is the /scalr command, where I'm going to do a -force. And the reason needed for that -force is because I turned off that checkbox for VCS driven dry runs, because we wanted it all to be done from comments. And with that, we should see a plan has started, which there we see it. And we'll see the comments and updates coming back into GitHub momentarily. So we flip over to there. We now see that dry run is executing in Scalr. Come back into GitHub. And we now see that it is populating comments. So as it goes through this, we'll see more information that is going to stream back into GitHub. For example, our OPA policy information, what resources are changing, all of that. So it all comes back, looks successful. If we had multiple workspaces that this impacted, we'll see multiple workspaces listed here. But everything looks good. And now what I just want to do is run and apply. We'll do /scalr apply. Make that comment. And again, if we flip into Scalr, we'll now see the run is executing. And we'll also get information back into GitHub regarding the status of the apply. So with that apply, this will pop up momentarily again. Plan is successful. We're going to create that third null resource, going through cost estimate, OPA checks, and then we'll go through and do the apply, which it is needing an approval for. Okay, flipping back here, we see the apply report has come back. Everything looks good. Resources were created. And now we can go ahead and merge the pull request. And that finishes off the Atlantis style workflow. So just a couple settings that needed to be enabled in Scalr. And we now have the apply before merge workflow versus the merge before apply. And just to wrap up, a couple bullets here on the advantages of using Scalr over Atlantis, but still with that same workflow. So first off, you have a lot more control over your runs in Scalr. So you have the ability to cancel them. You have the ability to force latest commits. You have the ability to prioritize runs. With Scalr, you're going to get high availability and scaling. It's an enterprise level support product. So everything you're accustomed to with a enterprise level SaaS product, you are going to get. You also have run concurrency and parallelism. So in Atlantis, really, you're kind of stuck to the one run, and you're kind of limited in terms of those parallel runs. With Scalr, there's flexibility. You can control your run concurrency when using agents, or submit a ticket to increase your concurrency on Scalr.io runners free of charge. We also have drift detection, something that doesn't exist in Atlantis. So if you are executing runs and we detect drift, we will display that. You can build reporting around that. There's granular RBAC, so over 125 different permissions that users, when they log into the UI, or whether they're executing runs from the API to CLI or from pull request comments, it's a lot of granularity in terms of permissions and what they are allowed and not allowed to do. Scalr has an intuitive UI. If you want to see the workspaces, the structure, isolate teams based on that. We have the reporting and dashboards in the UI, so you can report on module usage, provider usage, what resources are being created, stale workspaces, drift reports, a whole bunch of different reporting that you can build in there. And then lastly, of course, is enterprise support. So as you scale as an organization, you're going to need enterprise support. You're going to need that high availability, really just to operate at that next level scale. So that wraps up this video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out at support.scalr.com, and we'll be happy to help.